Thanks for stopping by, you lot, and welcome back to another episode of Dave's Dinners. I'm your host Dave, and for dinner this week I'm going to be making what I believe is a vegan chili con carne. I'm not actually vegan myself, so I don't want to claim it's vegan because I'm not entirely sure. I think it is, but I'm not entirely sure. So for argument's sake, I'm going to claim this as a vegetarian chili con carne. I got myself a new knife sharpener at the weekend, guys, and I'm in love with it so much, it's amazing. But on with the ingredients. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is a vegan recipe because everything here is just vegetables and spices. We've got 2 peppers here, you can have any colours you want, 2 onions, again you can have any onions that you want. I've got a bundle of garlic there, I've got half a bulb. I've got a jar of roasted red peppers, a tin of black beans in water, 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, I might need 2, I'm not sure yet, but chopped tomatoes, 1 tin of red kidney beans, 1 bottle of red wine vinegar, I'm joking, don't need the whole bottle, but red wine vinegar, some hot sauce, and then we've got a load of spices. We've got some dried oregano, some star anise, or anise, however you might call it, smoked paprika, ground cumin, ground cinnamon, and some hot chili powder. So the premise of this recipe is basically, it's just vegetables and spices really. We're going to have it with probably rice, although you can have it with anything you want. You can have it on its own if you want, or you can have it with pasta or noodles or anything really. But I'm just going to chop up these vegetables very quickly, and I'm also going to use the food processor, but we'll get onto that in a minute. One thing I want to note quickly is that this dinner is going to do the 2 of us over 2 days. So I suppose you could say that this is to serve 4, in case you were thinking that there's an awful lot of food there. But just chop up both your peppers into nice chunks. Last one. I'm just chucking these in the pan as well, because it's all going in the pan in a sec. I also messed up, guys, because I completely forgot that I got some celery for this as well. I'm going to go with 3 sticks of celery, and then you just want to top and tail, and then chop this up into chunks as well. 3 at a time, baby. I also just found a couple of chilies in the fridge as well, and I thought that that would go perfectly, so I'm going to chuck some chilies in there as well, because I think it'd be rude not to, really. I didn't do a very good job of showing you all the ingredients, did I? I do apologise, but this is what it's all about. Adding, adapting. The most annoying thing about chilies is these stupid seeds get everywhere. So annoying. I don't want to have these too big, so I'm going to cut them quite fine. I also want to go a bit easier on the chili powder now, because I'm putting these in. If anything, I might actually ditch it completely. Another thing to be careful of when you're chopping chilies, which I can tell you from experience, is even if you do wash your hands, don't touch your face or any sensitive parts of your body, because let me tell you, it burns. Just going to quickly chop up the onions and the garlic real quick. Same as always, just cut the onions into chunks, and I'm going to crush the garlic with the garlic crusher, so we can skip forward a couple of minutes. Alright guys, so we've got all the vegetables in the saute pan, and I'm going to put that to one side just for a minute, because I'm going to go and get the food processor. I've also left the garlic there as well, the garlic hasn't gone in. So what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to make like a paste with all the spices, a bit of the hot sauce, the red wine vinegar. I'm going to put some of the, how do I open this thing? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to put some of the roasted red peppers in there as well, and then mash them all up to make like a really nice paste. I'm going to put the garlic in there as well, so let's get it in there now, so we can lose the chopping board. Lovely. Right, so I think just to be safe, I'm going to abandon the chili powder because I've put those chilies in there. But we've got a bit of cinnamon. I'm not going to do exact measurements, I'm just going to kind of put a bit in there. And the same with all the others. Just kind of put a bit in. Paprika going in. Lovely. Star anise not going in because I don't want to blend that. Bit of oregano in there as well. Lovely. Now I want to put a bit of hot sauce in there. Just kind of like, I don't know, a few sort of glugs. And then a splash of red wine vinegar. Nothing too mental, but I'll put a bit more in there. Bit of red wine vinegar. And then finally, I want to put half of these red peppers in there. But if I just tip all that into a bowl, if I can get them out, there we go. Oh, they make such a horrible noise. Alright, lovely. So I reckon if I put 1, 2, I'm putting about half the jar in there, and I'm leaving the other 4 because I'm going to chuck all that in with the juice when it's cooking. Alright, so we've got the food processor out. If you haven't got a food processor, then don't worry, you can just kind of chuck it in the pot. And it doesn't really matter too much, but I'm just going to do this. So if we can get the lid on somehow. And then if we give it a quick blend of the blender. And that has made a lovely spicy paste. Delicious. So we're back over at the hob. I've got all the vegetables in the pan. Just going to put a bit of oil on there and get the heat going and soften these vegetables up. Should only take about 3 or 4 minutes. And the beauty of this dish is that basically everything that I've made is just all going to go into this one pot, and then it's just going to cook away nicely for around about half hour, 45 minutes. And just combine all together really, and it's kind of like a one pot dish, and it tastes amazing as well, so I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, so it's been around about 4 minutes of stirring these vegetables. You don't want to overdo them, just get them softening up quite nicely. They look pretty good there. So now what I'm going to do is just basically bundle everything else in there. So if I start off with my puree, get all that in there. And then I've got my 2 tins of beans. I've rinsed them out in a colander because they have lots of gunge in the tin, and I don't want that in there. And then I've got my tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to leave it at 1 tin for now. And then I've got the remainder of the roasted red peppers. They can go in there. Cool, this pan's filling up quite quickly. And then finally I've got my star anise or anise. I'm just going to put, I think, 4 of these in there, if I can get them out. And I think that the star anise really adds kind of like a bit of edginess to it. So that is pretty much it. I'm just going to stir that around. I'll lower the heat slightly, and I'm going to put the lid on top of it as well. And I'm just going to kind of let this simmer for I think around about half an hour, but I'll keep an eye on it and I'll keep stirring it frequently just to make sure nothing's burning or sticking to the pan or anything. And then that should be good to go. Just going to balance my spoon on the top, and then I'm going to do some washing up. Alright, so this has been cooking now for around about half an hour. I've just put the rice on because I think it's almost ready. I'm actually going to turn the heat down on that because I think that's pretty much done. But as you can see, it's all kind of blended together quite well. It's become more of like a mush, which is pretty much what a chili is supposed to be like. But it smells incredible, let me tell you. It smells so good. So here we go, everybody. We have some rice on the plate because we're having it with rice. We're not having the whole thing, we're only having half of this because we're having more tomorrow. I'm worried that's going to fall off the edge and get me. But that, everybody, is a vegetarian chili con carne, and it smells incredible. And I can't wait to eat this because I'm absolutely starving. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you come back next week for more Dave's Dinners. And also check out all the other recipes that I've done in this playlist from previous weeks. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.